Hey guys, welcome back. This is episode 3 in my Let's Stay Home series. I'm going to be sharing with you a DIY trash to treasure makeover project, as well as a note of encouragement and a quick and easy recipe that I like to make for my family that uses items mostly from my pantry. So just might give you guys some ideas for an easy, quick dinner. Let's jump into it. Hello everyone, welcome back and welcome if you are new. Olivia here with Olivia's Romantic Home, and in today's video I cannot wait to share with you a trash to treasure makeover project. We are going to be chalk painting an old mirror that I found for $5 at the thrift store. If you don't have chalk paint, I'm going to share with you all a DIY chalk paint recipe using baking soda and whatever paint that you have on hand. So you guys can get busy just doing some painting, which always helps me stay busy. This is episode 3 in my Let's Stay Home series. I'm going to be sharing with you guys so many fun different projects that you guys can do using the items you already have on hand, whether it be crafting, decorating, tidying, organizing. So we're going to look forward to the future with so much hope and joy. Without further ado, go ahead and grab that paintbrush, some paint, and let's get to crafting. So for this DIY Trash to Treasure makeover project, I'm going to be chalk painting this beautiful mirror that I found at the thrift store. It was $5. I'm going to be chalk painting it white and then distressing it with a bit of antique wax, just to kind of give it a bit of an aged look. I also want to share with you all my homemade chalk paint recipe. So to make homemade chalk paint, I just use 1 cup of regular latex paint. I usually use a flat paint, but I've used honestly whatever paint I have on hand. And then I'm going to take and use about half a cup of baking soda. You can see I'm not measuring it. I've mixed this up multiple times, so I kind of feel like I know the pretty good measurement on it, but if you want to be really precise, it's 1 cup of paint to half a cup of baking soda. Mix very well. Now for this project, I'm actually going to be using this Kilns chalk paint that I already had on hand, but if you don't have the chalk paint, don't run out and buy it. Just use that little homemade chalk paint recipe or save this video for later when you guys can go out and buy some chalk paint. Now this is a resin mirror, meaning it's not real wood, so it's more of a plasticky surface, but I will tell you the chalk paint adhered very well to the actual mirror, and that's one thing I do love about chalk paint is it's not super toxic smell wise, and it also grips to surfaces that maybe have somewhat of a finish on it. I didn't have to sand it, but I did clean it really well with soap and water. I'm just using a regular old Dollar Tree paintbrush, and I'm applying the first coat of the chalk paint. Now, the homemade chalk paint, I will tell you, is a bit grainy. I've used it on a ton of projects and it does work, but it is just a little bit grainy. So if you don't really like that, you may want to splurge and go ahead and buy regular chalk paint. But I think that the homemade chalk paint is great as well. For this project, I did have the chalk paint on hand, so I just went ahead and used what I had. But I just wanted to give you guys 2 different options. I also wanted to let you all know that I did end up using 2 coats of chalk paint on this mirror, and I let each coat dry about 2 hours in between. Now I did make a little bit of a mistake. I didn't tape the mirror off, so I was getting a little bit of chalk paint on the mirror, and I know that I can distress in and around the edges pretty easily, so I wasn't super concerned about that. But hindsight is 20/20, and honestly, I probably should have taped the mirror off. So you just take painter's tape and you tape around the mirror. That way you're not painting on top of the mirror. I got the chalk paint off fairly easily, I will tell you, but I did have to use kind of like some muscle work to get it off. So take your time. Don't do what I did. Take your time and tape off your mirror, or if you're impatient like me, paint around it, and then you're going to have to go ahead and do a little bit of scrubbing to get some of that paint off. I hope that helps you guys, just being completely honest and transparent with you about attempting this project and being impatient and then realizing it probably would have helped. But anyway, so now I'm just taking some fine grit sandpaper, and I will tell you I've used all kinds of sandpaper. This is a finer sandpaper, and it had this detail work on it already, so it made it really easy to distress. And when distressing an item to make it look kind of aged, you want to go around the edges quite a bit, the parts of the item that would have shown kind of some worn spots. Now that I have my mirror distressed, I'm going to go in with my little handheld Dyson vacuum here, and I'm just going to vacuum the dust off of my project. There was quite a bit of dust, so I thought using the vacuum might help. You could also just use a wet towel. I'm going to use this wet towel now to finish getting any of the leftover dust before I apply the wax. And I'm just using a little bit of my Mrs. Meyer's cleaner, but you could use any cleaner that has a bit of soap and water. Now, the chalk paint will come off with a wet towel, so that's actually another way that you can distress this. Now, to get the paint off of the mirror, I went ahead and used a little bit of this scrubby pad with some Mrs. Meyer's cleaner. I think the scrubby pad may have been a little bit too abrasive because I did notice that my mirror was a tiny bit scratched up in the edges, just a little bit, nothing super noticeable, but just a little side note, use a soft scrubby pad. And now I'm also just going to go ahead and clean my mirror all up. Again, just telling you guys honestly how I went about this and how everything turned out. I did give it a really good cleaning though with a bit of alcohol cleaner. That really is what I love to clean mirrors with and to also shine glassware with. Now I want to go in with this Waverly Antique Wax, and I absolutely love this wax. A little bit goes a long way, so I just dipped this old towel into the wax, and then I'm going to go in and around the little edges. It will give it a bit of a sealant and will also give it that French country flair that I love. You guys can use different waxes. You can use a clear wax, or really this is the first mirror I've ever used wax on. So wax is definitely not a requirement for any kind of, trash to treasure project, but because I had it on hand and I wanted to give it a little bit more of a French country vibe, this is what I decided to go ahead and use. And again, a little bit goes a long way. I dabbed that bit of wax on there and I didn't have to add any more until I got towards the bottom. Here is how my trash to treasure mirror turned out, and even this is rather a large mirror for $5 plus the paint and the wax, which I already have that on hand because I'm constantly doing DIYs and painting things white. I thought it was a really great project. I was super pleased with how it came out. It was a little bit of work, and this also took me 2 days. I didn't do this all in one day because I let the paint dry and did the distressing, and then I came back later and did the wax. But I was super excited for the results. Comment and let me know what you all think. A lot of you all ask me what kind of paint to use, and I do love chalk paint. You can also make homemade chalk paint. You can use regular chalk or regular paint or spray paint. Use whatever right now you have on hand. The other thing is I want to share with you this psalm. It's Psalm 23:3. He restores my soul. And along with the psalm, I would like to share with you a prayer today. And it says, "Let nothing disturb me. Let nothing frighten me. Let nothing take away my peace. May I wait with trust, with patience, knowing you will provide for me. I lack nothing in you. God, you are my strong foundation. You are enough for me." I'm praying this prayer over all of your hearts today, wherever you're at, whatever you're going through. Take this moment and take a deep breath and just pray with me and know that we're all praying for you all and we can all get through this together. So I wanted to share that with you all. And I also want to encourage you all to drop any prayer requests that you might have down below in the comment section of this video. And everyone in this community can kind of help pray for each other, even if it's a blanket prayer, just asking prayer over everyone. But I think it really feels good to get our prayer requests off of our hearts so we don't feel so alone, and so we can take some of that stress and anxiety and put it out there and just know that there's a community there here for you. I'm here for you, and I know everybody in this community is so loving and wonderful. Thank you also for being here for me. I love you all. I also want to share with you a quick and easy pantry recipe dinner that I make for my family all the time. This is one of their favorites. It's 2 cans of Prego spaghetti. I use half a bag of the Italian style meatballs from Walmart, half a container of spaghetti, and I go ahead and I warm up my meatballs in the microwave because they come frozen for about 3.5 minutes, and then I pop them into the pan and I add the spaghetti sauce, and then here are my noodles cooking. And then I just like to usually make some Texas toast and some steamed broccoli to go along with that. This feeds a family of 5 really well with a little bit of leftovers, depending on how hearty of eaters everyone is. I have teenagers, so you guys can imagine that we go through quite a bit of food. But again, you guys can have most of this in your pantry, and then if you don't have the fresh broccoli, you also might have either corn or green beans out of your pantry that you can go ahead and heat up. And the meatballs are nice because it gives it some flavor and just all of that good stuff. So I hope this recipe inspires you to make some kind of delicious pasta for your family, and also just to kind of share what I have going on in my home right now, just cooking out of my pantry. And here's these cute little kitchen towels that I found. Oh my goodness, they're so adorable. I bought those about 2 weeks ago at TJ Maxx, and they're so cute. They really light up my life. You guys also might notice that I have some of the Pioneer Woman collection of her things. Those are so fun. And then I had to share with you all my daughter. She baked a carrot cake for our dessert after dinner, which I shared this recipe with you guys in my last video. Go check out the rest of the Let's Stay Home series if you want to see how I made my delicious homemade carrot cake. She's frosting the carrot cake, and she actually made this all by herself. She did an amazing job. And so I just wanted to share that with you. And if you guys can see, I also have a paint project going on in my dining room. I'm going to share more of that once we get done. And then here's just a photo of us eating dinner as a family. I thought it would warm your heart, and I love y'all. Thank you all so much for joining me on episode 3 in my Let's Stay Home series. We are all in this together, staying at home and finding ways to look forward to the future with so much joy, whether it be crafting, decorating, tidying, organizing, cleaning. Comment and let me know, what are you all doing to pass the time while you're staying at home? I also would love for you all to drop a prayer request down below. I know that just knowing that somebody out there is praying for you and loving on you is so helpful. And so when you guys check in with me, it gives my heart so much joy to hear from you all. I also on my channel have a ton of Dollar Tree crafty decor projects, thrift store makeovers, trash to treasure projects, decorating, cleaning, baking. So definitely check out some of those videos. You can press play, take a break from everything, and just, have some joy in your spirit, which is so good for you all. I also want to let you all know about my Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook group page. It is a wonderful, kind, loving community over there where you all can post pictures of your DIY projects, your encouragement, your decor, and I know that is uplifting to so many folks right now. So definitely go over there, request to join. It's totally free. All my social media is free, and you can connect with other friends out there that are praying for one another, that are sharing pictures of their DIY projects and decorating, and it's just so good to have somewhere to go to lift your spirits. I also have an Olivia's Romantic Home Instagram page. I share sneak peeks behind the scenes of my little crafty mama life, what I have going on, words of encouragement, and just different little things I have going on. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for giving me a reason to show up. And I just love you all so much. I want to hug all of your hearts so tight. Truly, 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 this community is a blessing to me. And I know you all can be a blessing to everyone. Even in the comment section, write something nice, hearts, whatever you can put out there into this world that's positivity. We need it so much right now. So thank you guys again. I love you so much. Remember, take care of yourselves and take care of one another. I can't wait for the next video. We will talk to you later. Bye-bye.